Hi, so today I thought I'd talk about things I wish I would have known about hyperpigmentation before I got into my skincare journey, or before I really damaged my skin, I guess. Things I wish I would have known when I was younger. And just a lot of things about hyperpigmentation and different causes, different things to correct it, and a few recommendations at the end of the video. So, I guess the biggest thing to know, there's different types of categories for hyperpigmentation, which is sometimes why certain products might work better for some people as opposed to others. So there's kind of four basic, generally recognized categories. Age spots or photoaging is one of the biggest and actually probably the most preventable type of hyperpigmentation. And the older you get, your skin slows down in collagen production, and the less collagen you have, you don't generate as healthy and new cells as you used to, and you don't have the firmness, elasticity, and the lack of collagen, in addition to really overmounts, overexposure to the sun, can accelerate the development of age spots, sun damage, and things like that over time. Age spots, typically you'll notice they're most common on the face, arms, hands, chest, and legs, areas that are exposed to the sun. And for me, I think that's one of my biggest causes of hyperpigmentation. Another huge thing that causes pigmentation issues is melasma. It's typically common in women. It's a very common form of hyperpigmentation. It's typically believed, but not a lot is really known to be something related to hormones. Lincoln is getting out of here, I guess. Goodbye. Or he's just resitting. There we go. So melasma definitely can be linked as a side effect of certain birth control pills. It typically occurs on specific parts of the face, forehead, upper lip, and cheeks. And it will typically look like gray patches or brownish patches. So melasma for women, men can get it too, but it's just not nearly as common in men as it is with women. Another typical cause of hyperpigmentation, post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation, or PI, P-H-I. Certain people will get acne. A lot of people will get acne from time to time. Acne can clear up right away. However, not everyone always has the same results when it heals. Sometimes breakouts can leave behind dark scars, dark spots on the skin, which is typically known as PI. It also can be from trauma, such as a scratch, a scab, a cut, a bug bite, or an injury. And when that type of trauma occurs to your skin cells typically rush to heal the spot, which results in excess pigmentation cells that are left behind. And then finally, there's another category, typically genetics, freckles, birthmarks, things like that. Birthmarks are common with some people. It's kind of genetic. A lot of birthmarks can be red or pink in color, which sometimes can just look like pigmentation. And some people have a more genetic predisposition to develop freckles, and others can develop them over time with sun exposure. I typically never had freckles when I was younger, but now I notice a few, which is probably noticeable from genetics and then from the sun exposure, because I didn't take the best care of my skin when I was younger. Okay, so those are four basic categories. The main causes of hyperpigmentation: UV rays, the most preventable cause of pigmentation change, and one of the only things you can use sunscreen for, and I highly recommend everyone do that. I know I talk about in a lot of videos, but you can prevent it, because preventing it is much easier than treating it once it's occurred. I know that. I've been trying to treat it now for 7 or 8 years, and I still have a long way to go. It's come a long way, but it's still very noticeable and, bothersome. Another cause, acne, injuries, breakouts, bug bites, scratches, injuries. Genetics, another common cause. Hormones, another common cause, especially related to melasma. But more research really needs to be done in terms of melasma. So I've got the causes, and then the categories of hyperpigmentation, ways to treat it. There's a lot of different things you can do. I have some recommendations towards the end of the video. This has been my biggest plight in skincare, and this is what got me into skincare. I just started noticing these really dark patches on my skin, and no matter what I did, they just didn't get better. They didn't go away, and thankfully I took that as a cue to start doing something. But a lot of people probably don't notice it until it's too late. So ways to treat it: obviously using sunscreen daily. I'm not going to talk anything. Use sunscreen every day. Keeping your skin hydrated and moist might prevent some of those injuries to the skin. Not picking at the skin, scabs or breakouts, leaving them alone is going to be key, because anytime you touch it, you just might further damage it and cause more issues with PI and post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation. Another way to treat it, obviously, over-the-counter products. I've got a few to recommend. There's high-tech options such as lasers, intense pulse, light laser therapy, which you can obviously see a dermatologist for. Microneedling is another one. I really don't recommend anyone microneedle at home. There's just so many. If you have one little invisible piece of bacteria on that microneedle that you don't see, you can ruin your skin far worse than what you're facing now. So I just recommend everyone see somebody, an esthetician or dermatologist, to have that done. And then another great way to treat it, topical peels at a dermatologist's office. Next up, different types of topical products and ingredients you can use. Active ingredients to treat hyperpigmentation are divided into different categories to include tyronase inhibitors and exfoliating agents. Tyronase inhibitors work by interrupting the enzymes tyronase, which assists in oxidizing the amino acid tyrosine, which is needed to form melanin in the melanosome. Many tyronase inhibitors are also antioxidants, but not all antioxidants are tyronase inhibitors. Exfoliating ingredient, and I'll link to all this below. Exfoliating ingredients can also be included to help remove pigmentation. It speeds up the skin renewal process, but you want to do it gently, regularly, unless you're doing a peel. Obviously, those can be quite harsh, but doing something gentle every day at home can be a good way to do it. It's a good way to regulate the pigment production alongside peeling the skin to remove the pigment. So using both of those in a way, but gently and not over the top, slowly. You don't want to start going too crazy all at once. So there's certain tyronase inhibitors. Hydroquinone, very powerful one. It has a skin bleaching effect. It's banned in some countries, banned in a lot of countries. It used to be over the counter in the U.S. Now it's prescription. So hydroquinone is very controversial. That was probably the very first product I used, was the Alpha Skincare Dual Action Skin Lightener. I had very good luck with it, but hydroquinone... Oh, you out of here? Hang on. No, he's not. Okay, he's just hanging out now. So you want to be very careful with it, and now prescription only in the U.S., so I gotcha. Sorry. I guess he's bored with the... He's got a lot of hyperpigmentation, doesn't he? Anyway. Kojic Acid, a natural substance that's used in some skin lightening products, also banned in some countries. Some people may be very sensitive to Kojic Acid, so do some test patching if you're going to use that. Arbutin's another great one. It's a very gentle form of hydroquinone. It's found in beerberry, paper mulberry, blueberry, and cranberry. So some of these great fruit products might be a good way to get it. L-ascorbic acid, vitamin C, great antioxidant that also has skin brightening properties. Licorice root extract, another great plant-based tyronase inhibitor, very effective, more effective sometimes shown than Kojic acid. Also great anti-inflammatory and antioxidant ingredient. You'll see in a lot of products. So azelaic acid, wonderful ingredient. I really came so far with my hyperpigmentation, and then once I introduced azelaic acid, it really helped amp things up in a huge way that hadn't really been effective for a while. So azelaic acid, wonderful. It's a wheat-derived ingredient. Also works as an anti-acne ingredient, so I highly recommend checking out azelaic acid. I've got a few other ones. Dermawhite, it's a kind of a newer compound containing Waltheria leaf extract, ferulic extract, citric acid, and gluconic acid. Litoclean, another peptide obtained by amino acids. And then White Sphere, which is a compound containing licorice root extract, magnesium ascorbyl phosphate, and wakame extract that is encapsulated. There's lots of exfoliants that can help. Glycolic acid, alpha hydroxy acid derived from sugarcane. Lactic acid, another AHA, also tyrosine inhibitor. Mandelic acid, alpha hydroxy acid derived from almonds. Lipid soluble, antibacterial, and anti-inflammatory. Citric acid, another AHA derived from citrus fruit, helps to brighten areas of pigmentation. Salicylic acid, great BHA derived from willow bark, antibacterial and anti-inflammatory, great for acne-prone skin. Certain enzymes such as bromelain, pineapple, and papain derived from papaya, more gentle than a lot of acids, and targets the protein bonds that hold these cells together. There's a few other ingredients that you'll see: niacinamide, vitamin A, retinoids, brightening peptides such as nonapeptide 1, green tea extract, and glucosamine. Those are all wonderful brightening and exfoliating ingredients. And a few products I'd recommend checking out that I've had good luck with. The Topicals Faded. It now contains a little bit of fragrance. It's not overwhelming. It's not as super friendly for sensitive skin as the original version, but it's still wonderful. It contains lots of good tranexamic acid, skin brightening ingredients, kojic acid, licorice root, azelaic acid. Wonderful. The Regimen Lab Level Serum. Highly recommend checking this one out. Really good product. This was another one. I would say in my pigmentation routine issues, first started with hydroquinone, had a good amount of success there, kind of got to a point where it didn't help anymore. Then I included vitamin C in my routines, and that was another step forward and really helped. After that, then I started trying some of these pigmenting products. The Dr. Sam's Flawless Brightly is another good one. And then these I kind of had a ceiling effect, although I'm still noticing benefits from them. It just seems to slow down. Like the first couple months I'll use it, it'll really help, and they'll kind of have diminishing returns. Then finally I added an azelaic acid product in my routine, and that helped. The FaceTheory Lumizela is wonderful. Now I'm using the Clear 20% azelaic acid, but that seems to be another good thing. And then finally, along my way on my journey, I also found some exfoliants that really helped. I really like the Paula's Choice BHA, as well as their 10% advanced smoothing treatment. The Peach and Lily Power Cocktail is also really wonderful. And then good vitamin C serum like Geek and Gorgeous, or the Timeless one is pretty friendly for acne-prone skin, can also help. So I think slowly adding some of these products into your routine, letting them work, and then if you don't see any benefits, move on, try something else. There's so many, there's the exfoliants, there's acids, there's alpha hydroxy, BHA, azelaic acid, there's retinoids that will help. Then you've got all these brightening products. There's more and more out there now. So I think, I don't know. I don't know what my next step will be. I think it's probably going to be some type of laser at a dermatologist office, because I think in terms of topical products and then using sunscreen, of course, I think I've come as far as I can for that. But, there's always more out there, and perhaps trying to peel might not be the worst thing, but I just don't like walking around with peely, flaky, red, irritated skin for a long time, so I'm a little bit hesitant to do that, but maybe I'll try it, because I've still got a long way to come. But if you watched my earlier videos, the hyperpigmentation was really bad, and it's gotten a lot better. And obviously using these with sunscreen every day, because if you don't use sunscreen every day, all the results are just going to be for nothing in the long run. So you got to do that too. So anyway, so these are my tips and things I wish I would have known about hyperpigmentation. Interested in hearing from you guys. If you have any product recommendations, thoughts, tips, questions, leave them all below. Love hearing from you, and stay tuned for more tomorrow. Thank you so much. Bye, guys.
I got it in.